Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Native English Podcast. I'm Michael Reed, your host, coming to you from New York City. It is great to have you here today for another episode of Everyday English Learning. Today, we're talking about something we all do at the end of a long day. We're exploring how to relax at home, deal with the mail, and take care of the trash. These might sound like simple tasks, but they're full of useful English expressions, and honestly, talking about daily routines is a big part of real conversation. In this episode, you'll learn natural phrases for relaxing after work. You'll discover how Americans talk about mail, bills, and advertisements, and you'll pick up vocabulary for trash and recycling. These expressions will help you sound more natural when you describe your evening routine or chat with English-speaking friends about everyday life. Here is how today's episode works. First, you'll hear Lucy's story at a slow, clear speed. She'll tell us about her evening at home in her own words. Then, I'll break down the key phrases and expressions from her story. I'll explain what they mean and show you how to use them. Finally, you'll hear Lucy's story again at normal speed, so you can hear how it sounds in natural conversation. Before we start, here is a little challenge for you. After listening today, try describing your own evening routine in English. What do you do after dinner? How do you relax? Do you have trash day in your neighborhood? Write it down or practice saying it out loud. Don't worry about making mistakes. The important thing is to practice and build your confidence. Remember, every time you use English, you're getting better. All right, let's jump into Lucy's story. Listen carefully and try to notice the phrases she uses.
It is Wednesday evening, and I just finished washing the dinner dishes. My husband and I are sitting down on the couch together. We want to relax and watch some TV. The evening news comes on at 6:30, so we turn it on. While we're watching the newscast, I start looking through today's mail. There is always so much mail every day. Most of it is junk mail, advertisements I don't want. There are also a few bills to pay. I see an electric bill and a phone bill. Then I notice several flyers for houses that are for sale nearby. I'm not buying a house right now, so I don't need those. I get up and check the front stoop. I want to see if any packages arrived today. Sometimes my online orders are delivered there, but today there is nothing. No packages at all. My husband and I have different TV preferences. I like watching reality shows, like cooking competitions. He prefers sports or documentaries. But we both hate one thing about TV. We can't stand watching all the commercials. They're so annoying. So whenever the commercials come on, I turn the sound down. It is much better that way. After the news is over, I thumb through a magazine. It is the latest issue of a travel magazine I subscribe to. I'm not reading carefully, just looking at the pictures. Meanwhile, my husband is reading a mystery novel. He loves detective stories. Around 9 o'clock, I suddenly remember something important. Tomorrow is trash day. That means the garbage trucks will come by early in the morning. I need to take the kitchen garbage out tonight. I also need to dump the recycling bins. We separate our trash in New York. Paper and plastic go in the blue bin. Regular trash goes in the black bin. I roll the trash container out to the street. It has little wheels, so it is easy to move. The garbage trucks always come by really early, sometimes at 6 in the morning. If I forget to put the trash out, I'll have to wait another whole week, and nobody wants garbage sitting around that long.
Now, let's go through Lucy's story and look at some really useful expressions. These are phrases you'll hear all the time in American English, especially when people talk about their evenings at home. First, Lucy says she finished washing the dinner dishes. The dinner dishes are simply the plates, bowls, cups, and utensils you use when you eat dinner. When we say the dishes are done, we mean they've been washed and put away. You might also hear someone ask, "Are the dishes done?" This is a common question in households. It is asking if someone has finished cleaning up after the meal. Next, Lucy says they sit down on the couch to relax and watch some TV in American homes. The couch is usually the main piece of furniture in the living room. It is a long, comfortable seat where 2 or 3 people can sit together. Some people call it a sofa, which means exactly the same thing. You can say, "Let's sit on the couch," or "Let's sit on the sofa." Both are correct and natural. Then Lucy mentions that the evening news comes on at 6:30. The phrase "comes on" is very important here. When a TV show comes on, it means it starts, it begins broadcasting. You can use this with any TV program. For example, the game comes on at 8, or my favorite show comes on tonight. You'll hear this phrase constantly when people talk about television schedules. Lucy also uses the word newscast. A newscast is a news program on TV or radio. It is the same as saying the news or a news broadcast. In American English, we often say, "I watched the evening newscast," or "Did you see the newscast this morning?" It is a common natural word, especially when we're being a bit more specific about the news program. Lucy says she starts looking through today's mail. The verb phrase, "look through," means to examine or check something quickly. You're not reading every single word carefully. You're just checking what is there. We use this expression a lot with mail, magazines, and documents. For example, "I looked through my emails." Or, "Can you look through this report?" It suggests a quick review, not a deep reading. Then we hear about junk mail. Junk mail is mail you didn't ask for and don't want. It is usually advertisements, catalogs, or offers from companies. Most people get junk mail almost every day. Americans often complain about it because it fills up the mailbox and creates waste. You might hear someone say, "Half my mail is junk mail," or "I hate getting so much junk mail." It is a very common frustration. Lucy mentions she has a few bills to pay. A bill is a statement telling you that you owe money for a service. Common bills include electric bills, phone bills, internet bills, and water bills. When you pay a bill, you send money to the company in conversation. People often ask, "Did you pay the electric bill?" or "I need to pay my bills this weekend." Bills are a regular part of adult life, so this vocabulary is essential. Lucy also sees several flyers for houses that are for sale nearby. A flyer is a printed advertisement, usually on 1 or 2 pieces of paper. Flyers are used to advertise all kinds of things: events, sales, services, and houses. Real estate agents often send flyers through the mail to tell people about houses they can buy. You might say, "I got a flyer about a concert," or "There are flyers all over the neighborhood." The word is very common in American English. Next, Lucy says she checks the front stoop. A stoop is the set of stairs or the small platform at the front entrance of a house or apartment building. This word is especially popular in cities like New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. People often say, "I'll meet you on the stoop," or "the package was left on the stoop." It is a regional word, but it is understood across the United States. If you live in an apartment building, your stoop is that area right outside your front door. Lucy is checking to see if any packages arrived. A package is a box or parcel that is delivered to your home. With online shopping becoming so popular, people receive packages all the time. Now, you might order something from Amazon, and it arrives as a package. People often say, I'm expecting a package, or did a package come for me today? It is everyday vocabulary in the age of internet shopping. Lucy mentions that she and her husband can't stand watching all the commercials. The phrase can't stand means you really dislike something. It is stronger than just don't like. It shows frustration or annoyance. For example, I can't stand waiting in long lines, or she can't stand loud music. It is a very natural conversational expression. You'll hear it all the time when people complain about things that bother them. She also says, whenever the commercials come on, I turn the sound down. We already learned that come on means to start or begin. Here it is used with commercials. The phrase turn the sound down means to lower the volume. You're making it quieter. The opposite is turn the sound up, which means to make it louder. These are simple but essential phrases for talking about TV, music, or any audio. You can also say turn it down or turn it up, using the pronoun it to refer to the sound or volume. After the news, Lucy says she thumbs through a magazine. The expression thumb through means to look at something quickly and casually. You're turning the pages, maybe looking at pictures or headlines, but not reading carefully. We use thumb through, especially with magazines and books, for example. I was thumbing through a cookbook, or he thumbed through the newspaper. It gives the sense of relaxed, casual browsing, not serious reading. Lucy mentions the latest issue of a magazine. An issue is one edition or one copy of a magazine or newspaper. Magazines usually come out monthly or weekly, and each one is called an issue. You might say, I just got the latest issue, or have you read this month's issue? It is standard vocabulary when you talk about periodicals and subscriptions. Then Lucy suddenly remembers that tomorrow is trash day. Trash day is the day when garbage trucks come to your neighborhood to collect the trash. In most American cities and towns, trash is picked up once or twice a week. Each neighborhood has a scheduled day. People often say tomorrow is trash day, or what day is trash day in your area? It is important to know your trash day so you don't forget to put your garbage out. Lucy says she needs to take the kitchen garbage out. Garbage is another word for trash. They mean the same thing, though garbage often refers specifically to food waste and things from the kitchen. The phrase, take the garbage out, means to carry the garbage from inside your house to outside, usually to a trash can or container on the street. This is a common household chore. Parents might tell their kids, please take the garbage out, or it is your turn to take out the garbage. She also needs to dump the recycling bins. To dump something means to empty it out or throw it away. Recycling bins are containers where you put items that can be recycled, like paper, plastic, glass, and metal. Many American cities have recycling programs. You separate your trash into regular garbage and recyclable materials. You might say, I need to dump the recycling, or don't forget to put out the recycling bin. It is part of being environmentally responsible. Finally, Lucy says she rolls the trash container out to the street. Many American homes have large trash containers with wheels. These containers are provided by the city or the trash collection company. You roll them out to the curb or the street on trash day, and the garbage truck picks up the trash. After the truck empties your container, you roll it back. People often say, I rolled the trash can out, or did you put the trash container on the street? It is a simple, practical phrase for a weekly routine. Lucy mentions that the garbage trucks come by early in the morning. The phrase, Come by means to pass by or to visit. Garbage trucks drive through your neighborhood and stop at each house to collect trash. They come by your street. You can use this phrase in many situations. For example, I'll come by your house later, or the mail carrier comes by around noon. It is a casual, friendly way to say someone or something passes by or visits. These expressions are all part of natural, everyday English. When you can use phrases like comes on, can't stand, thumb through, and come by, you sound much more fluent and comfortable. Practice using them when you talk about your own routines and daily life.
It is Wednesday evening, and I just finished washing the dinner dishes. My husband and I are sitting down on the couch together. We want to relax and watch some TV. The evening news comes on at 6:30, so we turn it on. While we're watching the newscast, I start looking through today's mail. There is always so much mail every day. Most of it is junk mail, Advertisements I don't want. There are also a few bills to pay. I see an electric bill and a phone bill. Then I notice several flyers for houses that are for sale nearby. I'm not buying a house right now, so I don't need those. I get up and check the front stoop. I want to see if any packages arrived today. Sometimes my online orders are delivered there, but today there is nothing. No packages at all. My husband and I have different TV preferences. I like watching reality shows, like cooking competitions. He prefers sports or documentaries. But we both hate one thing about TV. We can't stand watching all the commercials. They're so annoying. So whenever the commercials come on, I turn the sound down. It is much better that way. After the news is over, I thumb through a magazine. It is the latest issue of a travel magazine I subscribe to. I'm not reading carefully, just looking at the pictures. Meanwhile, my husband is reading a mystery novel. He loves detective stories around 9 o'clock. I suddenly remember something important. Tomorrow is trash day. That means the garbage trucks will come by early in the morning. I need to take the kitchen garbage out tonight. I also need to dump the recycling bins. We separate our trash in New York. Paper and plastic go in the blue bin. Regular trash goes in the black bin. I roll the trash container out to the street. It has little wheels, so it is easy to move. The garbage trucks always come by really early, sometimes at 6 in the morning. If I forget to put the trash out, I'll have to wait another whole week. And nobody wants garbage sitting around that long.
Thanks so much for joining me today on Native English Podcast. We covered a lot of useful expressions about relaxing at home, dealing with mail, and taking care of trash. These are the kinds of phrases native speakers use every single day. When you master vocabulary like this, you can have real conversations about everyday life. Remember the key expressions we learned today. Things like comes on, junk mail, can't stand, thumb through, trash day, and come by. Try using them this week when you talk about your own routines. Maybe you can describe your evening to a friend in English, or write a few sentences about what you do after dinner. Learning English isn't just about grammar rules and textbooks. It is about understanding how people really speak in daily situations. The more you listen to real language and practice using it yourself, the more confident you'll become. So keep listening, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. That is how we all learn. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend who is learning English, and come back soon for more lessons on everyday American English. From New York City, I'm Michael Reed. Take care, keep learning, and I'll see you next time on Native English Podcast.